Right, hello and welcome. My name's Jay. I buy and sell on eBay UK. Each and every week I put out a video as to what's sold and what's not sold. This week is going to be a bit different. I'm going to talk about the numbers that I achieved on eBay last year. I'm also going to show you where I work out of, which is a box room here, but I'll get more into that in a little while. I'm also going to do a reintroduction, a bit about me. Now, I have got people that have watched the channel since sort of day one. Shout out Tommy, he's one of the original OG subscribers. Got Sam as well. Quite a few of you that I've met along the line, and sorry if I do miss out your names. But ultimately I've got Alan as well. He's a contributor. Kevin as well. Cheers, mate. Really appreciate it. And again, sorry if I do miss out your names, but I really do appreciate you guys watching. You'll know why I started reselling because I've done an introduction. But some people won't know why I started selling. So a little bit about me. I work predominantly as a buyer. I run a sales department for a garage where effectively I buy and sell cars. I do have to do a bit of selling, not a lot of it. I mainly source a stock, advertise the stock, prep the stock and so forth. And yeah, that's a big part of what I do. I'm a single parent. I've got a 15-year-old son that cost me an absolute fortune. I've got my own house. I've got a mortgage. And to be quite honest with you, I found even though I've got a sensible job, the money wasn't stretching far enough. So about 4.5 years ago, I decided that I needed to do something else, and that's where I fell upon reselling. First of all, I was selling a bit of everything. I was fixing iPads and effectively repairing those, getting them sold, buying them a broken screen, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. But what I find was people trying to have me over all the time. I then stumbled, I went to buy some die-cast cars off a gentleman. And at the time he said to me, do you know anything about Hornby Model Railway? And I said, well, no, I don't, to be quite honest with you. And I ended up buying a big box of Hornby Model Railway off of him. I think it was £100 I paid him at the time. Got back home and my mum at the time, God bless her, she was alive, unfortunately. She passed away 2 years ago. We started going through it all and I was getting more and more excited because this £100 was looking like 1,500 quid's worth of resale value. So that got me onto the Hornby. I then, or not the Hornby, the Model Railway in general, you guys know there's lots of different manufacturers, but Hornby being one of the biggest. I then got onto the tape packs. I've got loads of these tape packs that you'll see in a little while. Through somebody that turned out to be a good friend, he collected about 500-600 of these. I bought a load off of him and just started researching them. And then, yeah, that all sort of spiraled out. Records, I do a lot of records, but ultimately my background is I used to DJ back in the day, so I know about the records and so forth. That's how I got into reselling. I literally learn as I go, and most resellers do. They will learn as they go. Sometimes you pay for a mistake. I've bought stuff and I've sold it and it's not been worth what I pay for it, but that is, you're paying for your education at the end of the day. We don't always get it right. So that's me. That's why I started reselling. You know, high cost of living, literally my wages weren't covering. Now with this reselling, I don't have financial freedom, but I don't have to worry so much about money because I know there's two wages coming into my household, but both coming in through me. Targets I set myself a target of selling about 5 items per day for £100. So effectively 5 items, £100. That's my target in my head. That's what I like to achieve. I would like to say that I've smashed that, but you guys will see that in a little while anyway. So what I'm going to do now, rather than me waffling on about myself, I'm going to turn you around and I'm going to show you where I work out of. Once that's finished, I'll jump back in and I'll go through some numbers with you. So without further ado, I'm going to turn you around and show you where I work out of. Right, so this is where I work out of. This is my spare room. It's a box room. As you can see, it is full, he says, of racking. I've got what I call my stock in over there, so that's bits that I've got to process. There is some bits here that are for sale already on eBay. I've got coaches there in boxes, coaches down there that are all numbered up, some wagons down there, bit of miscellaneous down there. Got some box locos down there. Got some 125s. What I've done is I've put them in their colours because they did have, or I've got a huge amount of 125s. You can see they're all in their own colours, and they've got their SKUs against them. In there, I've got some GWRs and so forth, and GNERs, so I know where they are. I've got, what are they? Eurostar coaches there. Got a teak LNER coaches over there. This is where I do all my packing, all my photographing. You can see it's a little bit messy, but I've got all the lottery tickets there, or the cloakroom tickets I use for the SKUs and so forth. Over this side, I've got 225 coaches. I've got some records down there. I've got my Eurostar power cars and dummy cars. Bit of ipropanol alcohol for cleaning. And I've got my Virgin 125s there. Up here, I've got 225s, got some GNER coaches. There, I've got my Pendolinos or Pendos. I've then got Virgin coaches there. And I've got some Intercity Expresses, and I believe they're, what are they actually? I just sold one of these today. A Southeastern, yep, Southeastern. Tape packs are a big part of what I do. You can see how many tape packs I've got there. They're not big sellers, but they don't cost me a lot of money, and I just like to stock them at the end of the day because they do sell. But the model railway, you can see up there, I've got wagons, more wagons in there. Same on this side actually, I've got 040 locos in there, so I open that up and show you in there. That's all full of 040 locos, as is that one there, all full of 040 locos. Then again, wagons, miscellaneous up there. Yeah, it's quite a lot of stock I've tracked down there. I've got a cupboard here that is a bit of a mess, but I will show you in there because what I've got in there is I've got some overflow stock there and lots of cardboard for packing, because I go through that really quickly, to be fair. So yeah, this is where I work out of. It works, it's functional. There's a lot of stuff in here, about 1,500 items, but they all go eventually. So yeah, that's where I work out of. Right, so now you've seen where I work out of. It's a little box room. It is hard to get it all in on the camera at the end of the day. I do need to buy a GoPro or something like that, where effectively using the iPhone is not the best. Anyway, what you're all here for is my numbers. So this is from the 1st of January 2024 till the 31st of December 2024. I sold 2,481 items on eBay for a grand total of £56,026. Now, out of that £56,026, £10,630 were eBay fees. That hurts. But to be fair, I wouldn't get the coverage anywhere else. If I had my own website, I would not get the coverage. So I think it's worth the 10 grand, or I'd prefer it to be 5 grand, but it was 10 grand. My average sale price per item was £22.58. So I sold 2,481 items, and the average sale price was £22.58, which was a minus 2% on last year. I had 1,754 buyers. 1,474 of those buyers were new buyers. 280 even were repeat buyers. So I have had questions on the channel before saying how many of my customers are repeat customers. Well, 280 last year out of 1,754 were repeat buyers, and that's up 6.9%. So whatever I'm doing customer service wise, it's working, because my repeat buyers are up by 6.9%. So again, I earn £56,026 is what come through from my eBay sales. Out of that, £10,630 was paid to eBay in fees. £7,644 was paid on postage. I then have packaging and so forth, but again, that's relatively cheap, but again, it's an expense. As I've said to you guys before, I aim to earn about 30%. So If we take off the 10,630 eBay fees, £7,644 in postage fees, that gives me £37,752. Now, we times that by 30% because, again, my tax year runs April to April. But ultimately, I'm doing this 1st of January till the 31st of December 2024. That gives me a grand total of £11,325. Now, when I take off my taxes and so forth, I'm probably left with just under £1,000 a month, there or thereabouts. More like sort of £750, £800 is what I earn from working on eBay. But let's not forget, this is part-time. This is not full-time. I've got a full-time job. I do this part-time. So I'm more than happy to have that. And it gives me that little bit of financial freedom. I know some people would be, well, it's not enough money. You're not earning enough money. For me, part-time is more than enough. And it's more than what I can cope with, to be honest with you. Going back to the 2,481 items, bearing in mind I only want to sell 5 items per day for £100 a day. I've come in well over 20 grand over what I wanted to be at. So really, really happy with that. In summary, for that £750, £800 per month, I work 8 hours per week on eBay, which is roughly just over an hour a day. When I am working on eBay, I could be having a beer, could be having a go on my vape. I've got a TV on in the background. It doesn't feel like work. I don't have to travel to get to work. It's all done from home. I could be cooking dinner for me and the boy. Again, it just doesn't feel like work. So for me, to have that extra money per month coming in and doing it all from home, it's more than worth it. But ultimately, would I recommend it? 100%. 100% I would recommend it. Would I recommend it full time? I'm not sure. I'd probably have to double up what I'm doing, if not more, well, a lot more, to earn what I'm earning at work and here. But you can't put a number on freedom. You can't put a number on doing it for yourself. And I think that's the hard part. So yeah, I've been frank and honest with you. I know some other people that do YouTube get paid via YouTube. I don't get paid via YouTube. I don't blame them for not buying me. I don't get enough views. Videos can be a little bit boring, but ultimately my two incomes are my work and our eBay, and I'm more than happy with what I've done this year, more than happy with the numbers that I've achieved this year. And yeah, if you want to do it, crack on and do it. It takes a bit of time. The stock that I've got around me, it's taken me 4.5, nearly 5 years to get it up to where it is. I'm aiming to grow it even more this year. So yeah, if you want to do it, get on and do it. Anyway, I've been Jay. Thanks for watching. Really, really appreciate it. If you do like the content, please give us a thumbs up. More importantly, if you could consider subscribing to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. And I'll update you on Sunday with what I sold this week. Cheers.